How's it going, viewers? Mr. Incredible is back and he's rolling with the punches, baby. Welcome to a ranking tier list. We're going to be doing one more today. The last video I did was on My Little Pony. That was my choice. This one is actually one requested by someone I did on my ranking tier list on My Little Pony episode, which was like a while ago. And that was WH Productions. So thank you, WH Productions, for requesting this. And the request was Spider-Man movies tier list. And yeah, we're going to be talking about all the Spider-Man movies. There isn't a lot, but I'm going to make this video long enough because I'm going to be talking about them for a little bit. And I have all the DVDs of Spider-Man movies that I own right now. I'm sure the collection will get bigger in the future. But either way, let's get into this. Cue the music. I said cue the music. Cue. There we go. Okay, I don't know if y'all can't hear it, I apologize. Okay, so we're going to be doing all the Spider-Man movies from Spider-Man 2002 all the way to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So 2002 all the way to 2023, the year we're in right now, of course. And yep, I'm ready for this. So remember, this is my opinion, so don't get mad with my opinions. And yeah, let's get into this. Starting off, we have Spider-Man from 2002. Right off the bat, S tier. I don't care what y'all say. I love the first Spider-Man movie. This movie, in my opinion, is special for so many reasons. First of all, I think the reason why Sam Raimi directed this movie is because he had an agenda in mind. He wanted to bring Spider-Man to the big screen, and this was honestly the best way of doing it, making his own version of the character and a great telling of the story of how Peter Parker got the powers from being bitten by a radioactive spider, and of course the death of his Uncle Ben. I think it was handled the best in this movie, and the villain, Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe, is incredible. I just adore this movie for everything it is. Yes, there are some scenes that look a little bit outdated, and yeah, people can agree there are some cheesy lines, but I don't care. I'm here for that. This is a film that Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat would give a thumbs up to because of all the cheesiness. It works, honestly. It really does work for this film, and the soundtrack is just iconic. Danny Elfman really knew what he was doing, and Tobey Maguire will always be, in my opinion, the definitive Spider-Man, just like how Kevin Conroy is the definitive Batman. Rest in peace. But yeah, Spider-Man 2002, solid S tier. I don't care what y'all say. It's flawless. It just can't be beaten. It's the classic, and we all love it, and I know I do. And then we have Spider-Man 2 from 2004. This is probably going to be a bit of a hot take, and you might try to slaughter me, or assassinate me, or moider me. I don't care. This is my opinion. Spider-Man 2, I think, is a bit too overloved. Yes, I said it. I think Spider-Man 2 has a bit too much love. And I'm putting it in the B tier. Yep. Let me just say right off the bat, I really like the movie. For what it does with Peter Parker's character was great. I think the way they develop him and losing his powers because of his human life is really well written. I also love the villain of Dr. Octopus. Alfred Molina played the role perfectly, and setting up James Franco's character of Harry Osborn becoming the new Goblin was really good as well. That was a cool surprise, actually. And yeah, the concept was just done very well, and the relatability is there. But for me personally, I just don't see it, because here's the thing. Mary Jane Watson, in my opinion, is the most despicable character in movie history. Like, the most toxic woman you could think of, viewers. I'm not gonna lie. She kind of brings down the trilogy for me, and this is honestly her worst movie ever. Like, in the first movie, she was tolerable, but she still did a bad thing. Like, at first you thought she was going to go out with Parker, but then she falls in love with Harry, which is completely fine. And but here's the thing: Harry loses his mind at some point, which is understandable, honestly, even though he said some rude things. But then MJ falls in love with Parker just because he was saying some nice things that Spider-Man was telling her, which is him, you know. And she holds his hand, and when Harry comes in, it just gets a little awkward. So basically, MJ cheated on Harry, and they haven't even broken up yet. So that is already the first red flag. And the second one is this: Harry Osborn's father dies. She goes to his funeral, and what does she do? She confesses her love to Parker and kisses him at the grave of, you know, Norman Osborn. That's kind of messed up. Like, that's so rude, honestly. And yeah, but in this movie, she's far worse. She's very rude and very over the top in the movie, and she does the most despicable thing ever. She falls in love with another guy, John Jameson, the son of J. Jonah Jameson, the Daily Bugle guy. And when she finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, what does she do? She leaves him at the altar. Yes, at their wedding, which is just, it's such a terrible thing to do, and it really boils me to the bone. I felt so sorry for the guy, and he was a nice guy, but he did nothing wrong. Like, he did not deserve that. I mean, he was so nice. He even said, do you want to invite Peter Parker to the wedding? That's so sweet. He's basically inviting her ex over. You need a man like that. And she does that. Just dumps him at the wedding right there. Just runs off with a note. So yeah, MJ is just pure toxic, and she's the most evil of the trilogy, in my opinion, and this movie is her worst, and because of that, she brings down the movie, in my opinion. So that's why the movie gets a B tier. But I still really like the movie for certain scenes, and I really love the action moments. But overall, the extended version of Spider-Man 2 is also worse than the original version, and I sadly own it. But either way, still a good film for what it is, and I can still see why people really love this movie. I do think it's a little bit overloved. Not overrated, but overloved. Because I still actually really like the film. Not love it, but I like it for what it is. So yeah, Spider-Man 2, B tier. Now we have Spider-Man 3. This is going to be a hot take, but I actually love Spider-Man 3. I'm putting in the A tier. Yep, I love Spider-Man 3. I think it's a lot better than Spider-Man 2 for many reasons. First of all, I actually find this one more relatable. Peter Parker getting a big head and thinking he's an icon and not really realizing he's hurting other people. I've actually done that before. One time I remember becoming a little bit popular for doing something really nice at the school, and I thought I was the best person ever. This only happened for like a few months, and I was getting it to my head, and I didn't realize I was hurting other people by being too egotistical, and I learned that in a sad way. And Parker learned that as well in this movie, which I think was written really well, and it's definitely something that we've all done before. And also, MJ is good. MJ is finally a good character. In this film, I felt really sorry for her when Peter Parker kissed Gwen Stacy on the stage, which was just completely unexpected and kind of just wrong, really. But the whole restaurant scene was hilarious. Again, I think the cheesiness is hilarious in this film. I think it's written really well in this film. And Harry Osborn was also written well, although, again, the reason why people don't like this movie is because of what Sony did. You see, Sam Raimi was going to have Sandman be the villain, but because Sony wanted Venom, they had to write him in one way. And honestly, to Sam Raimi's credit, he did his best. I think the way they wrote Venom in was okay. I'm okay with it. I think Eddie Brock in this film was actually written pretty well, and Sandman was honestly a great villain. I loved Sandman in this movie as well. And the black suit thing, awesome. And we all love Bully Maguire. I've quoted him before on my channel, so yeah, I'm obsessed with Bully Maguire, and I'm overall I just really like this movie. This movie, in my opinion, has always been good. Not as good as the first movie, but still a really good ending to the trilogy. And yeah, for that, I'm putting in the A tier. Spider-Man 3, it's great. And it always has been. So yeah, that's the Spider-Man trilogy right here. So yeah, that's one down. Let's move on to the next one. And that, of course, is The Amazing Spider-Man with the Andrew Garfield film, directed by Mark Webb. So yeah, first movie, I absolutely adore the first movie. I actually am putting this right in the A tier. I think Andrew Garfield with Spider-Man is actually amazing. I think he has the best Spider-Man, but Tobey Maguire has the best Peter Parker, if that makes any sense. I do think Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker is a little bit hard to tolerate sometimes, because he's, supposed to be he's a bit too cool for the role. But I get used to it as time goes on. And the villain, Lizard, was handled well enough, honestly. The music is really good. The action scenes are also really nice to see. The school scene was probably my favorite moment in the film. And overall, the film is also probably the funniest one as well. It's really, really funny at times. I do think the Uncle Ben death was handled was kind of rushed, but I still enjoyed it. There are things that I just really like about this film. Also, Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy is the best love interest in the whole Spider-Man universe. She's the best one. Emma Stone played the role perfectly. Because of her, I love the movie more than I should. So yeah, Gwen Stacy makes the movie for me. She is literally what we need. She's the best love interest. Bite me, viewers. And for that reason, I'm putting this in the A tier. And then we have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Again, there is a lot to focus on in this film, and it can get confusing at times. And the death of Gwen Stacy at the end does still hurt me. And I know it really upsets me that it has to happen. But you know what? It's important because Spider-Man has to deal with death. And it sucks. Like, Tobey Maguire, he only had to deal with his uncle and his best friend. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man dealt with his uncle and his girlfriend. Like, I think it's pretty obvious which one is more heartbreaking. But either way, still, insane movie. And Electro was a really cool villain. And Harry Osborn was also pretty well written. I think he was good. But overall, not as amazing as the first movie, but I still like it for what it is. So I'll put The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the B tier with Spider-Man 2. Definitely better because, you know, Gwen Stacy is better. So for that reason, I'm saying it's better than Spider-Man 2, but still, for what it is, I still really like it. Okay, this is where you're probably going to start questioning me. Now we're on to the Tom Holland trilogy. And right off the bat, as you all know, I'm not really a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now because of what their films are like now. Out compared to recently. I've already done a tier list explaining the Avengers. I mean, all the Marvel movies, including the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor and all that jazz. And I'm not gonna lie, Spider-Man Homecoming is, in my opinion, the worst of the Spider-Man movies. Yep, I said it right there. I'm putting Spider-Man Homecoming in the C tier. Don't get me wrong, I love Michael Keaton as Vulture. But the thing is, I'm not really a fan of Tom Holland's portrayal of Peter Parker or Spider-Man in his movies. But in the Avengers movies, he's great. In Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame, he's great. I think he's great. But in his own movies, I'm not really a fan of him. He gets on my nerves, and he doesn't actually have a reason to be a superhero. He just wants to be an Avenger. He's like, yeah, it's cool, bruh. It doesn't rub me the right way. Whereas as Maguire and Garfield had to deal with, you know, death, Tom Holland doesn't have to deal with death at all, which is just, I'm sorry, you need to deal with death. So for that reason, I didn't care about his character. And the same goes with Far From Home. Far From Home was also just, it was slightly better than Homecoming, but not by a long shot. So yeah, I'm still putting Far From Home in the C tier, but it does do some things better. I do really like the villain of Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and some of the effects in the film looked really, really cool, and there are some nice moments, but again, Tom Holland's Spider-Man doesn't deal with, you know, death, and he still gets on my nerves, and he does give Mysterio the glasses that Tony Stark lended to him. So for a film to come after Avengers Endgame, not really the best, but still could have been worse. Oh wait, it can be worse, because now we have Venom. Okay, Venom is definitely going to go in the D tier. I don't know what else to say. It sucked. And Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Okay, it has Woody Harrelson, so for that I'm putting it in the C tier, but it's like low C tier. Again, Sony just doesn't know how to make movies. It's so bad it's enjoyable. That's the thing about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And then we have Spider-Man No Way Home to finish off the trilogy collection of Tom Holland. Yeah. Honestly, the best of the trilogy, but not incredible. I'm not gonna lie. When I rewatch the film, it does get a little bit underwhelming. I'm not a fan of the way they wrote some of the characters, and I feel like they kind of rushed through the beginning, and the only amazing character was really Green Goblin, and even the moment when Tom Holland lost his Aunt May, honestly, I didn't care. I didn't cry for him because, again, the way it was built up did not fit well, so I didn't care, but I still feel bad for Tom Holland, and I think he actually played the role amazing in this film. So for that reason, No Way Home is going in the B tier, at the top of B tier. I want to put it above, but I just can't. I'm sorry, viewers, I just can't. And then we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Finally, we're back to the spectacular movies. What an incredible movie. The animation style, unique. All the characters written really well. The villain of Kingpin, again, tragic. we lose Spider-Man. Miles Morales loses his Uncle Aaron. So much crazy moments happen in this movie. It's funny, it's hilarious, it's epic, it's everything you want. Spider-Man Noir, Penny Parker, Peter Porker, you know, Spider-Ham, that was the thing. Spider-Gwen, so much to love about this film. They even reference Bully Maguire, like, come on. This film is just the GOAT. Right at the S tier. What else can I say? It really is just, it's the best Spider-Man film since the 2002 movie. And then finally we have Across the Spider-Verse. Again, this is a bit of a hot take. I love the movie, but I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10. Into the Spider-Verse is a 10 out of 10. Across the Spider-Verse, 9 out of 10. Yeah, I'm giving it a 9, but I'll explain why. I'm putting it in the A tier, at the top of A tier. It's at the top of A tier, but I want to put it in S tier, but I just can't, because I feel like I'm being too nice. They leave it on a cliffhanger. The way they left it on a cliffhanger, I'm not going to lie, that disappointed me. That actually made me yell, no! When I was in the theater. The cinema. When I was at the cinema, I yelled no when they ended it. The way they ended it, I'm not going to lie, what really upset me, because it felt like the film was actually getting epic when it ended. Like, the build up to it was really breathtaking. All the character cameos we had were just insane. I won't spoil it for y'all, but just expect a lot of surprises. And the villain of Miguel O'Hara, he was good, and Spot was really well written as well, but I don't think they were as tragic as Kingpin. I think we needed a bit more time with them. But I'm sure Beyond the Spider-Verse will fix the issues I have with the movie, and maybe it might go up. But I think when it comes to overall the enjoyment, I think the first movie is funnier and just, I don't know. I also love the interactions with all the Spider-Men. We didn't really get enough. We had Spider-Punk and Indian Spider-Man, which was great, but honestly, I would have loved more of you know, Spider-Man Noir and Spider-Ham and Penny Parker, you know, Spider-Man anime. I would have wanted more of them, but you know what? The film overall is still satisfying. I still love it for what it is. So I'm putting in the A tier, but not the S tier. That's just my opinion. So yeah, viewers, what is your favorite Spider-Man movie? How would you rank these movies from worst to best? And I love you all, and I shall see you all in the next video. If you enjoyed this particular one, leave a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're interested, follow me on Instagram, link down below. And until then, stay positive, keep calm, stay safe, be incredible. And as always, Brony on. Peace.